as soon as we know that we're live. So it says that we're live, but you know, I don't really trust YouTube.
Let's check. Where are you? Where are you? I don't see it yet. Don't see. Oh, there you are. We are live.
All right, awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
I'll give
So
you
I'm
guys
gonna
the link in the chat if you want to copy and paste it.
perfect. Yeah, and I'll throw it up there on Twitter. I'll retweet it there.
All right, private chat. Bing, bang, boom. We are live. There we go. And I will monitor the chat for the degenerates when they come pouring in, as they always do.
You know, I don't need moderators when I'm all by myself because there's just 2 family members giving me crap. But when you guys come on, you're so popular. You're so awesome that I end up getting all of these, crazy weirdos in the chat that I'm not used to dealing with.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm sorry. They're
aren't
saying
sorry.
weirdos.
Chat's brutal. Yeah, chat's crazy. Twitch
it
chat
is
or
crazy.
YouTube chat. Oh yeah, chat's insane.
Rinskis, this is a weekly show. Yeah, Rinskis.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
we had such good feedback last time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rinskis, what up, dude? Yeah, so what are we going to talk about today? What's up, David? How the heck are you, man?
Doing great. I actually just finished releasing a video right before this about the testnet and stuff, and I did a little demo and showed it off. Yeah.
Shut the heck up. You did your own video.
Yep. Just dropped that like a few minutes ago.
I'm so proud of you, dude. You're just growing right in front of my eyes. And it's been a week since I've seen you last. It's like a day without David is a day without sunshine. Or maybe a week.
Crack me up.
I love it, dude. All right, where's this damn link? Did you post it on Twitter?
I'm about to retweet it right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna retweet this thing. All right, we'll go here. Bam. David, Feeder, and Hexray. At Hexray Vision, outstanding. What's Hex doing right now, man? Freaking Hex. Let's pull that up.
Pumping off the bottom. 15 cents.
Yeah.
Bottom was 12. Not bad.
We're showing some signs of strength for the first time in a while. So that's pretty good. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Yeah, we're fighting. We're fighting. We got an hour and 58 minutes till this new one resets. Where are we on the weekly? Oh, so yeah, the weekly resets pretty soon here. We've got a beautiful looking trend reversal doji on the weekly. So this could be an opportunity for us to pump a little bit. We can get up to about 20 cents. I'd be pretty happy. Pretty daggone happy. All right, who else is in here? Riziad, DJ number 1. Hello, you guys just woke up. Outstanding. All right, so shoot, what were some of the questions that you saw, Hexray?
Oh, well, I'm going to start with my first because I'm a selfish individual.
Yes, you are.
And this is what me and my fake son-in-law were running into the last couple days, where some of these the testnet and the validators would show up on my testnet, and then his was stuck, only showing the first 3 that showed up, right? So he would be looking for his the coins to show up on his testnet, and he would look for the validators to show up on the testnet. Which actually, by the way, let's back up all the way. And most of the stuff that I learned how to get, I learned just enough to get really confused by Trayvon James, right? So he did something which I should have thought about. He went to howtopulse.com and he just started reading the tutorials on screen. I was like, well, why didn't I think of that? And so if you go to howtopulse.com, it'll take you through the steps of setting up the testnet on your MetaMask, correct? And then it'll also take you to the link where you can go onto the validators page. Is that correct? Walk us through that first, David, if you could.
Yep. You're right. Trayvon was the first. And I also just did the same thing in the video I posted 10 minutes ago on YouTube. And I show you exactly how to do it step by step, even installing MetaMask from scratch. I did it all in the video.
Can we put a link to your video that you just did in our chat right here? And then later I'll add it to that. You can do that, Rags. Thank you very much.
Are you, is it David Feeder on YouTube?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so we'll be putting a link up to Dave's video as well, and that kind of walks you into how to get really confused. So the confusion that we were running into once we went through the steps on howtopulse.com is that we ended up his MetaMask wallet said it was indexing. Can you explain what indexing is and how that affects what's showing up on your testnet?
I've never had that error or issue in my MetaMask. So I have a question then. Where did it say the word indexing? In the MetaMask plugin or on a website where you...
That's a great question. I'm going to pull the boy off of Gingerbread House building. No offense. I know it's a tricky, I don't want to trigger you guys saying ginger, but they are downstairs making ginger houses. So I'm going to summon him up here so he can speak nerd to you.
Dude, you're calling him your fake, what is steps?
Fake son-in-law.
Fake son-in-law, and you're gonna summon the boy?
I'm summoning him now.
Silence, village idiot. Come hither. What are you doing, man?
Come upstairs to the studio. There we go.
Summoned.
I'll say please to be polite.
All right, so he's on
there we go. So as he comes up, then now I will pull up some of the ones on Twitter because I did post this. I said, what questions do you guys have for David Feeder on the Tech Talk? And I got a whole bunch of really good questions here. So let me pull those up here as well. And we'll just go in order. Actually, as I'm pulling that up right now, we have the fake son-in-law entering the studio. Have a seat. So where was the indexing question showing up when you were waiting for something to index? Was that showing up on MetaMask? Or is that showing up somewhere else? Go ahead and talk to the microphone if you want. You don't have to be on screen. You just got to talk on the microphone because he's listening right now. Well, you are waiting for some of your coins and stuff to index. Is that correct? Okay, little closer. It's a good microphone, but it's not that.
Come
good.
hither.
Come
hither, village idiot.
Come hither, says RagstoRiches. Go ahead. Okay. So
that's what the site said. I don't think that was actually the issue. I think that was just me being dumb.
Okay. So,
okay.
So go ahead. And why is it? Do you think that his coins may not have been, or why some people's coins are not showing up yet on the testnet?
Now, I assume you're talking about the Block Explorer website, scan.pulsechain.com, where it shows you
scan.pulsechain.com. Yes, he was.
Okay.
And that's where it was saying that.
Okay. I also see that at the top of the screen for me as well. That's
okay.
That's the server that runs scan.pulsechain.com. That server is indexing the database. So not all of the pages are up to date. Like if you just did a transaction recently, it may not be indexed yet. That's just the website doing its thing. So
okay,
there's
so
nothing
that's
you can do about that.
A server of that specific website that's catching up.
Exactly.
Specifically.
Yes.
Not necessarily the Pulse testnet right now.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Okay.
So
right,
that's
what the
normal.
guys on Reddit helped me figure out.
Yeah, he's in the land of Reddit. So
jeez, good luck. Okay.
It's
good
deep
luck with
and
that.
crazy in there. For sure.
Yeah. I don't read Reddit. So
okay, great. All right, we'll summon you if we have any other questions. Go ahead and throw in your earbuds to follow along, so that way I can just snap my fingers next time.
Bring grapes. Bring grapes. Feed me.
There we go. So that was the thing that we are running into personally. So that now that I've got
sense.
my issues taken care of, we'll pull up the Twitter questions here, which you probably saw those right here. So the first question we have is why is David technically my favorite ginger? And that comes from Esteban Gabriel.
And it's technically in quotes, right? Like
That is technically in quotes. So
pun intended.
technically you're his favorite ginger. And actually he answers it. He says it's the galaxy brain. Thanks guys, can't wait to watch the stream tonight. So that wasn't a real question. Let's go on to another. So what rewards do you think we will get? And I'm guessing that's the rewards from, well, let's just talk about the rewards for all those involved, because he's not specifically asking, what rewards you're getting from the different angles. So let's just go down the list. So the first rewards that I would think of personally that you would get from the pulse chain are the airdrops, the clones or the system state, meaning that they're going to copy all of the coins at the moment of forking, and they're going to be, so that's the one reward you would get just by holding your private keys, right? And then from there on, what rewards are you going to get as let's say that you've got a bunch of pulse and you delegate that pulse to one of the validators? What is the reward that you'd be getting in that case, David?
Yep. The reward is pulse. You're getting a part of the gas fees that validator mines.
How does that work? How does that work for people who don't know what delegate means? They don't know how proof of stake works. Why are they getting rewards? Why are you delegating your stuff to a validator, etc.?
Good question. Yeah. So delegating is kind of like voting, and what you're doing is you're taking your pulse and you're gonna you lock it up. The rules for the lockup are when you cast your vote for one of the 33 validating servers that mine all the blocks for the pulse chain, you get to pick which one you want, and then you're going to vote for them and delegate. When you do that, it locks up your pulse in your wallet. So it sits there for 24 hours and pending. And then after the first day, then your vote is, you're delegating, you're active. And then during the next day, that second day, once you're active, that validator that you voted for, that mines the blocks for pulse chain whenever somebody, like every 3 seconds. And if there's a transaction inside, they get the gas fee. They share that with the people who vote for them. Now, the amount they share, that changes. That's on the website. Maybe a validator is giving 50% of its gas that it mines. Maybe it's only giving 10%. Or maybe this validator is giving away 90% of the gas that it mines. You'll have to take a look at the website and see, and that'll determine who you vote for.
Yeah, I wish I knew enough to share my screen and not dox myself and my addresses, but I did notice that on the testnet that people were offering various amounts of sharing their rewards from being a validator.
Yeah, call it revenue.
Yep. Yeah. Now, Rags, can I ask you a favor? Can I ask you to keep up with the questions in chat,
Yep.
and then I'll keep up with the questions on Twitter.
So this is
I
actually
want to grab one off of there.
Yeah, this is a good one to follow up on what he just said, and I'll just kind of say, so the 33 validators, very, very competitive. Okay, what if you've delegated your pulse to one of the validators and the validators drop out of the top 33?
Yep. So in that case, that validator you voted for drops out. They don't have enough money anymore, or the top pulse. They're going to be waiting in line. If you don't do anything, you'll still be delegating to them. And during the next day when they're kicked out and until they get back in, they're not making any money. They're not mining anything, and neither are you. So your vote will just be sitting there doing nothing.
And there is no chance that anybody loses their pulse, correct?
No, you don't lose pulse.
Right.
Nope. And from what I've heard also, if you vote for a validator, and let's say they're still in the top 33, but they go offline and they lose power, they lose internet for like a whole day, they're going to get misdemeanours and felonies, which we don't know the details of that yet, but we'll figure out what that really means. And they won't make any money that day either if they're offline. And anybody who delegates and votes for them, they won't make any money that day either because they're not actively mining the blocks.
Okay.
So that's the key. They have to be in the top 33 and active. Otherwise, you get nothing.
So in short, if they say we promise to share 50% of our reward with the people that voted for us, 50% of nothing is nothing, right? So if they fail to get their reward and do their job, they have nothing to share with you. However, your pulse that you voted or delegated to them, that's not at risk on your end, as far as we know.
Yeah, correct. As far as we know today, your pulse is never at risk. It just sits in your wallet, and you can unstake it and unlock it and move it. There's a 24-hour cooldown to unlock it, but that's it. And then your pulse is fine, and off you go. Yep. There's no real risk. It's just the biggest risk is you just don't make money for a day. That's like the worst that happens.
Cool.
Sounds good.
So when we're looking at proof of stake, which is what the Pulse network will be based upon, and we're looking at proof of work, what is one of the biggest questions that I get in my channel is the difference between proof of stake and proof of work, and why is Pulse network being set up on proof of stake? So what are they and why? Why are we using this method?
Well, the big one is the pollution and the electrical waste from proof of work. Because proof of work, like Bitcoin is using today and Ethereum is using today, where you can use your video card and you can mine Ethereum blocks. All your video card is doing is trying to guess a hash. It's like a made up number. It's trying to like solve a math equation. Like that's really hard, like over and over and over. So it's like useless. Like that's not productive computing. So that's how proof of work actually functions, right? And then they have to buy the electricity, which is usually from coal, and then it's just causing pollution. Whereas proof of stake, we don't need to do that anymore. Now with the 33 validators, by having the top 33, you're proving that, hey, look, I've got a lot invested in this. I have a lot of pulse. You put it in a server, you lock it up, you get all your friends in the community to vote for you, and then that gives your server the power to take turns mining blocks. And the difference with Pulse Chain is the blocks are really easy. You don't need a bunch of video cards. All you need is like a simple server. Like I got it here on my own home desktop, which is like a server. It's pretty powerful, but like it's you don't need a whole data center like the picture behind me. You don't need all that for Pulse Chain. So Pulse Chain is actually very efficient on electricity, and it's very green, and we don't have any external waste. And that also means me, if I'm a validator, I don't have to sell my pulse for electricity because I don't care. It's cheap. I got to pay a couple $100 for fiber internet. I got some batteries, like it's cheap compared to mining.
So
that's a really good lead up to this question. Koss at Kossman11 on Twitter asks, are you 100% ready to be a validator if Pulse goes live tomorrow?
Me personally, no. I'm not ready for mainnet. I could probably get the capital to purchase the equipment I want like immediately. I could probably have it in a couple weeks. Computers and the supply chain's a little slow right now. So, but no, I don't have any investors or backers or anything like that. I don't have the gear yet, but I have a location picked out, and we have a location with Discord Syndicate. So yeah, it won't be hard.
Awesome. And K4K Crypto at K4K Crypto asks, are you able to test? Can you delegate your stake to yourself as a validator in order to avoid slashing?
So we've since found out that no, you can't. Well, it doesn't matter because even the delegators technically get slashed too. You just don't earn any money. So slashing is different than what we thought it was. Right? I used to think they would delete, if you're offline, they delete the pulse out of your wallet and it starts like evaporating and you actually lose money. Turns out that's, from what I'm seeing, not the case. You just don't make any money. So it's actually not that bad.
Okay, awesome. Do you want to hit up some questions from chat, Rags?
Yeah. So, and I'm kind of just paraphrasing a couple questions, throwing them together here. In terms of proof of stake, from a stance of security, it seems like it might be a little bit centralized when you only have 33 people that are involved in this, but at the same time, there's also competition. So, what are the advantages of proof of stake with regards to security?
Well, I don't know if there's any distinct advantages as far as security goes. I mean, we are probably giving up compared to, let me phrase this correctly, like compared to Bitcoin or Ethereum, proof of work versus our proof of stake. Yes, we are giving up a little bit of diversity by only having 33 validators, right? Like theoretically, there will be literally only 33 servers in the world at any given time that can mine a block for Pulse Chain. That's, Bitcoin has way more miners and Ethereum has way more miners. They are technically more decentralized. It's true. But there's going to be people waiting in line. So even if the top 33 get taken out, there's going to be more to replace them. I'm willing to bet money that there's going to be other servers that are like number 34, number 35, and they're just waiting for the chance for somebody else to get knocked off and they jump in. So I'm not too worried about it. Yeah,
and it seems like too, like with proof of work, you've got mining pools, so they're using. I mean, it's kind of like it almost migrated to that anyway, to that concept.
If you look at that for Ethereum, yeah, there's less than 33 huge pools that can mine most of the blocks. So in that regard, yeah, maybe Ethereum is more centralized. So that's one way to look at it too. Because a whole pool, one guy controls it. Everybody else donates their video cards, but they don't know what they're actually doing. That guy can turn them in. He could make them all mine bad blocks and spam Ethereum if he wanted to. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. That's actually true.
Yeah, and then I wonder why is there a voting mechanism? So why do you vote with your shares of Pulse for who delegates? What's the purpose of that?
Well, I think
or validates rather. Sorry. So
versus
you just
do it so they couldn't, like there was no voting. It was just the validators had to show up with their own Pulse, and then nobody else could participate. I mean, you could do that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if any other blockchains are doing that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either. I guess it's just for the decentralized nature of what's going on here. They just want to make sure that there is some type of governance involved. As free market as possible with good competition, because that helps things out.
I think if it's whoever shows up with the most Pulse to their name, that gives someone the opportunity to buy their way into controlling the system. Whereas if you open it up to everyone with a an incentive, they all have a reason to care about it, then that kind of democratizes it a little bit. So you have like a balance of people who have skin in the game or something to lose themselves. But then you also have the whole community with a vested interest that are actually taking a closer look at these validators and their track record. Because like I said, on the testnet, you can see, have they had any misdemeanors? Have they had any felonies? Have they been slashed before? And you can really, it's kind of like some of the good stuff about voting for politicians in real life. But the difference here is that these people actually have altruistic sense to the community, where they have an incentive to see the whole community thrive. Wherein, regular politics with human beings, most politicians don't really care about you, where these people have a reason to care about you. So maybe that's the whole purpose of the voting mechanism versus just the man with the biggest bag of Pulse wins.
And then
I would just offer that as a
yeah, I like that. And it brought up this question too. Are there checks and balances in proof of stake systems that don't allow other fellow validators to create alliances?
I guess you'd all have to vote against them. If a validator was, or even a group of validators were doing something shady, then it would be up to the community to vote them out and pick other people.
Yeah. Right. Is that against thing? Can one individual or entity run multiple validators?
Yeah, totally. Yep. If you have enough votes and enough Pulse, absolutely. Like take, for example, Richard Hart, even with just the 1%, Pulse Team Foundation wallet. Yeah, he's got enough Pulse to run all 33, and you never outvote him. So it's possible, but will that happen? I doubtful. I don't think so.
Correct. Cool.
Because Richard doesn't want to bother. Like, he doesn't want the job of running all 33, and he does want them to be decentralized. So we're going to let the community, whoever steps up to do it,
Yes. Nice. Can pulse chain be crippled by spamming because of cheap gas like EOS was?
I mean, yes and no. Sure. Yeah, you could. Yeah, if you got a big bag that you sacked for and you want to spam it up with spam transactions, probably let it rip. And guess what? You're going to just burn your own pulse, and 25% of that gets deleted, and the rest goes to the validators and delegators. So bring it on, man. Like, I welcome transaction spam. Sure. Like, you get paid for it. And it just ratchets the price up.
Yeah. I can keep going, Hexray, if you want.
Yeah, let me throw one of mine in from Twitter, and then I'll hand it right back over to you. So Costa at Costa 343999895 asks, how is the yield calculated on staked and delegated pulse? Thank you.
Yep. So on the gitlab.com/pulsechain.com, there's a little example in there that says if you had a validator and they're doing a 50-50 revenue share, and then you had two stakers. One staker had 2 pulse, and one staker had 3 pulse. Then at the next day, the staker with 3 pulse, he'd get 30%. Staker with 2 pulse, we get 20%. That's the 50 to the stakers, the delegators, right? That's their 50%, and the other 50% goes to the validator. So how much you get depends on how much of the validator's voting pool, how much of that is your pulse. Very similar to Hex with T-shares, actually.
Yeah, so whoever has the most shares gets paid the most interest in Hex, and whoever is delegating the most pulse gets rewarded according to that breakdown, where 25% of the reward is burnt, and then what's left of the 75% is whatever the validators agree to pay to the people that voted for them. Is that correct?
Bingo.
Awesome. Run with it, Rags.
Yeah, so 51% of tax. This is to either one of you guys. What is a 51% attack?
So in proof of work for Bitcoin and Ethereum, a 51% attack is when a pool, for example, gets 51% of the mining hash power, and then they try to do a double spend attack. They try to like rewrite like a block in their favor, and then they say, hey, I gave Ethereum to this guy and I gave it to this guy, and they try to like re-roll the transaction because they control 51%. So
51% of the hash power.
Yeah, hash power. Yep. And then they can try to do that attack. It's very expensive, doesn't always work. It's usually a bad idea.
Cool. Awesome. Let's see what else we got in here. Yeah, so why would it matter if Richard Hart runs 10 validators so long as he is validating blockchain correctly? I guess it doesn't really matter, except maybe in the eyes of other people who really adopt the crypto technology. They want it to be decentralized as possible. That's the word that everybody uses: decentralized. So it's just about trust, I guess. And that's the only thing I can think of. What about y'all?
I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'm more worried about the decentralization of the servers themselves. Like 3 days ago, there was an Amazon outage, like Amazon Web Services outage in Virginia. It's one of the biggest data centers like in the world. It serves like the McDonald's app was down, like all these big companies were down. Well, I think even the pulse chain validators that we have today, the first 3, those are running in Amazon. What happens when Amazon goes offline? Or they, what if they like to close his account because they don't like what he's doing? Well, that's bad. So I don't, if Richard were to do all 33, that's cool. But it's like to have diversity, put some in a data center in this country, some in a data center in this country, run some out of the castle in Europe. It really matters about the computers themselves. The 33 should be spread across the world. I care more about that than who controls them.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because a lot of Ethereum's virtual machine is ran on AWS for their servers. They're outsourcing
most gift
their
nodes run on
hash
AWS.
power. And so, like he said, if Amazon decides one day they don't like Ethereum, or if lawmaker in America or wherever Amazon runs its services says, hey, quit serving this customer, then that's going to throw the entire Ethereum network into a bad place momentarily. I mean, granted, they can recover from it, but that's going to put us in a nasty crunch. So the decentralization of power and internet is a much bigger concern, I think, also than the decentralization of who's actually the validators. So that's a really good point. Let me ask you a question here. You did answer it on Twitter, but some guy at ARC1M3DES asks, will we be able to tell who is who when staking for validators?
So today on the website, the official staking website for Pulse Chain, it just shows the address. So that's all we have today is the staking address. It's just letters and numbers. It looks like an Ethereum address. That's all we have today on the website to differentiate between them. I think right now there's only 3. I think you're going to start to see some more soon, and they'll probably have different revenue share percentages too. But for now, it's the only way to really tell is the address. In the future, I expect there to be different front ends. Like even myself, I'll probably make my own website for my validator, so you don't even see all that other stuff. You can just with one click, you're like, how much pulse? You just pick how much you want to vote and click a button. Done.
That's pretty much the standard on other chains too. You have individual identity amongst the validators, different websites, etc.
Yeah, so I'm sure that'll come to Pulse Chain as well. I'm sure. Like Staker app, for example, I've heard rumors Staker app may have it right in their app as well. You can just delegate to their server because they run one anyway for their app. So Firebun's already got it. I know he's in Microsoft Azure, for example. So they'll probably be doing it too.
And then a follow-up question from the same person is, how do I track that the executing code on the block, that the validator is executing code on the blockchain correctly?
So, that's going to be the misdemeanor and the felony columns. Now, today we don't know what the rules of those really are. Like, I don't know how do you get a misdemeanor or felony? It doesn't say anywhere on the GitLab website yet. So we don't have any details, but that will be how you can tell how their performance and uptime, and that's kind of the key indicator there for their performance.
Yeah, and I could be wrong too, but when we have a block explorer, you'll be able to look at the transactions on the block explorer and compare them to the stuff that the validator is paying out. Is that correct? So if there's a pulse chain block explorer, you know how on Ethereum we have Etherscan.
Yes.
So we're going to have a block explorer on Pulse that's going to say, hey, this is how much Pulse, this validator was rewarded, and you can be like, hey, that guy shortchanged me, which I assume that the Pulse chain network and the misdemeanors that you were talking about and felonies would fall under that same category of someone checking to make sure that the validators are doing what they said they're going to do after they get rewarded the Pulse. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there will be a watchdog or some way that someone is checking on these validators. If the validator says, hey, I'm going to give you 50% of my reward, then you look up on the block explorer and you're like, hey, this dude shortchanged me. I'm assuming that that's going to be an automated watchdog that someone's going to come up with, almost immediately.
I don't think there's any way for anybody to get shortchanged, because when you register your validator on the official website, so I take my server address and I go in there, and right now I think it's a 500,000 test pulse deposit, non-refundable, that you have to do to register your server on the website. At that time, you set how much you want to share with your delegators. I'm pretty sure that's hard coded, and that's automatic. You get paid out every 24 hours based on the share that they set on the website. I don't think there's any way for a validator to shortchange anybody or change the payout. That's all automatic in the smart contract. You can't even touch that stuff. So I think there's no risk there. I don't think that's possible. It should be fine. Not worried about it.
So I got a question here. Is there any sort of backup for any validators that go offline? Would the pending validators then take over, or does the day have to end before it switches? I assume it just fails over to the next one, correct?
So that's a really good question. And that's something I've been thinking about a lot.
Yeah.
Because for me, right, like I want to do a validator. So I think, like, if you look at even the picture behind me here, these are all like Dell servers.
Yeah.
I think only at one time, I'm only allowed to have one actually as an active validator. I don't know how the failover works. If I can just have a second one in the background ready to go, and then I can just click a button to swap it. I don't know how that works yet. There's no documentation. Richard hasn't said a word. I'm not sure how to fail over for one node, for one validator. Now, if somebody drops out of the top 33, or if somebody wants to unregister, like I can go in there to the website and I can say, all right, take my server off the list. I'm done. I quit. I can unregister. That takes 24 hours. So a server dropping out of the top 33 and somebody quitting, that's every 28,000 blocks. So one day.
Cool. Okay. Makes sense. So somebody said again, what does a 51% attack look like in a proof of stake network? What type of threat would cause a fork in the network? 51% attack in proof of stake. Essentially, we've got 33 validators. If out of those 33 validators, a majority are in some type of alliance, they could potentially, especially if they were in order in terms of ranking, they could just fail over to the next person, carry on the same plan, go to the next person the next day, carry on the same plan, roll blocks back. I guess that's the only way that would work with proof of stake, correct?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's been done before.
Yeah, I don't know. The only way that would work
Don't know.
with proof of stake is if those validators were, again, in some type of an alliance. Then
Yeah.
what type of threat would cause a fork? If the validators didn't agree with something that was going on with the network, they could fork off and do their own thing, which has happened many times before. So that's what would cause a fork. You just have a bunch of people that agree to fork off and go a different direction.
Yeah. And then the other, it's not really a threat. It's more of like a bug. Like Binance Smart Chain right now is sort of forking. A lot of the nodes are falling out of sync and they're not agreeing. And it's just crazy because they've turned the power up way too much and they've increased the block size.
Okay.
And so it's like, even if you have a $5,000 server, like it's still struggling to catch up in Binance. So, there are like technical things that can cause it too, like issues,
vulnerabilities there. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like an attack. It's more of like they just kind of they wrote bad code, to be honest, and they didn't know what they were doing.
Okay. You have one, Hexray? You want me to keep going?
Oh, you're muted, Hexray?
You're muted. And you're ugly, but go ahead.
Okay. I'll cry off camera later. What I was saying was that I think I've caught up with all this on Twitter right now. And so, yeah, we're getting a lot more questions there in chat. So just keep jumping on those ones on chat.
Yeah. Is it possible? This is for David Feeder. Hi, David. Is it possible for a large holder who becomes a validator who commits felonies or misdemeanors to just set up a different wallet, and now they look like they have no felonies or misdemeanors?
Yes, they would have to register another validator, which in theory they could unregister their first, transfer the pulse to the next wallet, register a different server, boom, done. Yes, absolutely. They could change identities in 24 hours.
I'd like to add to that really quickly. We have so many sleuths in the Hex community, like Silver the Antidote and other people doing chain analysis, that these people would have to actually do a lot of coin mixing and covering their tracks, because if all they did was move that pulse right into another wallet and start up again, there'd be a lot of people calling them out, I believe.
Yeah, you'd have to use the new version of tornado.cash on Pulse Chain. Once there's a front end for that, yeah, mix your coins there and then start over.
I actually, I didn't know exactly how tornado.cash worked, and I went there recently to check it out. So, do you guys know how it works pretty well, or have you heard about it? You've read about it?
Yep, on a high level. And
So essentially, what happens, I guess, is you go to tornado.cash, you connect your wallet, okay, and then it takes your stuff and then sends it to a bunch of random addresses, a bunch of different random addresses, and then you can tell it to funnel it back to your address. So it shakes it up, confuses everybody, and you can direct it back to the address of your choosing.
a little I don't know, like I don't even know, like it's like trivia on the tornado.cash website. If you go to like the first block when that smart contract was first mined, Richard Hart along with Vitalik Buterin were some of the first people who donated a little bit of ETH, and they signed with their private key, and their private keys were merged to make the actual private key of the founding. So he's like etched in the first block on that thing.
Oh, that's freaking cool. That is freaking
Yeah.
cool.
Isn't that like-
Let me offer an explanation of how I understand tornado.cash, and you tell me if it's a good analogy or not. Okay. So like let's say we all show up with our Legos, right? And we all have those Legos that have 8 bumps on the top or 4 bumps on the top, you know what I'm saying? And everyone throws their Legos into a pile, and they're kind of like cut up into smaller pieces of Legos, right? So we all show up with different colored Legos, and they kind of mix them up and put them in different blocks and things like that. And then eventually the contract remembers what Legos belong to whom. And so they separate these Legos back out and return the Legos to the same owners that originally put the Legos in. But it's so complicated. Like, so the contract knows what color the Legos are, but nobody else does. Right. So it separates all these Legos back to the original owners minus some fees. And the problem that I believe Richard Hartz explained earlier was that there's just not enough people dumping different colored Legos in the mix. So it's easier to trace 3 colors of Legos through this process versus, you know, thousands of colors of Legos through this mixing thing. And so he said that, you know, the problem right now with Tornado Cash is there's not enough inputs to really, you know, get a good mix and a good anonymity. And so right now he's thinking there's got to be a way to make it more obfuscatable. I don't think that's a word, but make it more hidden.
Sounds good.
It makes it more hidden. And you know, is that I'm probably missing a couple of things there. What do you think of that analogy of how Tornado Cash works right now?
It's pretty spot on. Yeah.
Dude, transporter, Star Trek. Right? You got a subject. It breaks you down at the atomic level. It transports you through deep space, and then you show up at a specified place, right? That's what you just said.
I love the idea that we're trying to unnerd this whole thing, and you bring in Star Trek.
I mean, does that not work perfect, though?
It's a close analogy.
Especially if you have multiple people transporting off like Pluto, like to Earth, all going through the same pipe, but they're all jumbled up, and the only people that can put it back together is the transporter algorithm because it knows the code, dude.
That's a lot easier to visualize than Lego. So I'm gonna give you props for that. That's actually, say you take 3 people, you break them down to the atomic level, send them somewhere, and put them back in, hopefully to their same bodies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I would really like if, well, never, I'm not gonna say. Yeah, we'll just keep moving. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Can you ask David on a scale of 1 to 10 how excited he is about Pulse Chain and what things specifically that he's excited about?
So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say I'm excited to 11. You know, this is amazing. You know, it's a better Ethereum where we're starting over. Gas is going to be back near a Gwei. And if you sacrificed, you're going to have, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of units of Ethereum. So, you know, most of us will have bigger, like if Vitalik Buterin is 300,000 Ethereum, Like some of us on Pulse Chain will have hundreds of millions of Pulse, so you'll be able to do whatever transaction you want forever. You know, like using Hex. I'm excited about P Hex. I think that's going to be awesome. You know, it'll be, you can make micro stakes, you can do weekly stakes because it'll be affordable enough. So yeah, I'm super excited for all of the enhancements basically that Pulse Chain is going to bring. You know?
Outstanding. What else? Let's see here. 51%. Blah, blah, okay. And then yeah, so the gas fee is very important, etc. All right. Eschatar. Star Trek teleporters actually destroy the original person and create a new copy on the other side. That's why McCoy never trusted it. Okay.
True story. He kills you and builds a new you on the other side, but you're not really you.
Yeah, I actually I've got the blueprints. So just shut the hell up and listen to what I'm saying.
You know what? Actually, I think they're onto something here. This actually it might be a brilliant idea. Don't
No, I want to hear it.
don't
I
laugh
love
at
it.
me. I
Rabbit
mean,
hole.
this is the interesting thing about Hex, right? So when you lock up your Hex for T-shares, you're destroying those because it's not the same Hex that you're ending up with on the other side. It mints brand new Hex and it mints brand new Hex for the interest, correct? So
Correct.
my question is, could a coin mixing service use this technology to destroy coins on one side and remint coins on the other side, and maybe even use a bridge or another set of wallets to send it to, thus making it harder to track and add more layers of privacy to it?
Yes,
I mean, maybe
that makes sense.
the problem with like T-shares as that example is like you put the hex in and then the hex comes out. It's the same address. You can't change it. You can't send it to somebody else in the process. But I don't know. I mean, you could do it probably with a bridge, especially with a bridge that uses those ZK roll-ups.
Roll-ups. Yeah.
So it's encrypted. Yeah, it's like you can't. It's like A plus B equals C. You don't know what any of them are, but the computer knows that it's the correct like prompt math problem. So that's how it works. So you can't tell what's inside the transaction. So theoretically, if you ZK bridged out and then did some stuff and then came back to mainnet, sure, that might work.
Yeah, because I've know some people who take the USDC and they use the Ren Bridge project, right? So they're burning coins on one end and minting them on another end. So if someone wants to take a large amount of USDC and use the Ren bridge, they're burning all of those Ren BTC tokens, and then they can make the Bitcoin show up in a completely different address and on a completely different network somewhere else. And granted, if there's enough of an incentive or motivation for law enforcement or someone else to track that exchange, they can. But it adds a layer of complexity and cost to track that there. So unless it's like a really large amount of money, it's not worth their time or effort to track that USDC through the Ren bridge and popping out into a Bitcoin wallet somewhere else. Is that right?
Absolutely. That's actually a brilliant way to clean your money. Yes. I like that. I didn't even think about using Ren Bridge, but absolutely, especially if you waited too. If you bought some Ren BTC and then mint it later.
The problem right now are the fees, right? So you're getting hit with the Ren fee, you're getting hit with the Ethereum network fee, which is ridiculous everywhere, right? And then you're getting hit with the Bitcoin fee because it's going to send Bitcoin from one address to the address that you tell it to send it to. And I never thought I'd see the day where the Bitcoin fee was the most reasonable fee out of that whole thing, but it is because, you know, you're paying a liquidity provider fee on Uniswap and you're paying the network. So you're getting kicked in the nuts, real like square in the nuts by a mule every time you do this. But if you value your privacy, it's worth it. So going forward into the Pulse chain and the Pulse bridges, I'm thinking that we can lower these costs significantly. And, you know, by adding a couple steps to your process, you can add a couple layers of privacy, which I'm really excited about in the future.
I would love to see that. I hope the Ren guys come over to Pulse Chain and then people can take their Bitcoin and bring it in and wrap it on Pulse Chain. And then it's like a penny to send, penny to move, penny to unwrap. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I I get this question a lot too. What would cause crypto at large to crash? And I'll start off. The only thing that I remember back from my Cisco networking days that would cause this is probably there's 13 DNS servers. So that would probably be one way to bring everything down. If and those are run by ICANN. If those folks got involved, they could target some of the addresses, resolve names to IP addresses, and they could bring a network down potentially that way. But that's the only large scale way that I know that crypto could go down like that.
Yeah, and I think even Bitcoin stuff is based on IP address and port number, and then they randomize the ports. So even if you took DNS out of the equation, I think it might be okay.
Yeah,
it depends what they're talking about. Take crypto down. Like, do they mean value or do they mean literally offline?
Don't you get that a lot? Like from people, it's like, well, what if this? What if that? Blah 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 blah. If this is all online, it's digital. What if the internet goes down?
Well, then
everything else ATM goes down, and your bank account goes down as well. It's just
street lights don't work. Your grocery store you can't buy food. Yeah, you got bigger problems than your crypto bag, bro. Like you got guns and water. Like
yeah, parade of the unimaginable horribles, as Richard likes to put it.
Yeah. Now they want to talk about value and money, and like crypto being like just useless. Well, I think if there's a huge stock market pullback and the Fed stops saving the traditional markets, then you start seeing liquidations. People have to sell their Bitcoin because they have to sell their stock because they have to sell this, and everything cascades down. So that can happen, but as far as like shutting off the internet, I'm not worried about it.
No, neither am I.
Yeah, like Pulse Chain, like you'll never stop Pulse Chain. Once mainnet starts, like we're never going down. You think there won't be 33 validators running 24/7 for decades? Like I guarantee it, man. Like I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna make sure it happens. Like
if they wrote this contract back in the 90s, I would have a better Lego parties with school friends. I was there when the deep magic was written. All right, let's see.
If you heard the AOL dial-up noise, then you've been there since the beginning.
Dude, the window. Have you seen those memes where somebody gets punched in the face and it's the Windows turn off sound? Da, da, do, da.
Yeah.
I love it. The best sound effect ever for tragedy.
We got a reference to another stream that you like to be on there, the Steak and Bake stream. And I believe that one's on Twitch. Is that correct?
We're on YouTube now too. Yeah, that's on Freddie Quotes' channel.
I watched that. I watched that the other day. But I didn't see you baking.
Yeah, I got my vape. Yeah,
you were baking. All right, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
totally.
Gosh, man,
that's one of my favorite shows. I also love Happy Hour. Dude, Friday nights in Cabana.
I can't do it. I drank last night on stream.
It's
with
fun.
Crypto Heartbeat. Got him warmed up. Got his dark secrets out.
Good. That was a great stream, by the way. The Saturday Night Live. That was a lot of fun.
Dude, I had so much regret this morning when I woke up. And I'm like, I please hope I didn't say anything stupid in Telegram or Twitter. And I'm pretty good about that. So I learned my lesson in my 20s.
I do that sometimes. I admit sometimes I do drunk tweet. You see me saying weird shit on Twitter, probably drunk.
I thought you said I Trump tweet. Yeah, I got drunk and Trump tweeted.
Oh no.
Right. Can we address this? As Escatar says, the problem for mixing service doing that is when you destroy the coins, you lose the value. The bridge contract has no power to mint the new coins on another contract, so you can't get the value back. Which I guess if you do the bridging, I think he's referring to adding the bridge to the mixing service. Like I was saying earlier, if you add the bridge to the mixing service and you're actually minting new coins, maybe he's saying that you're giving them the power to decide whether or not they want to continue minting those coins or not, which is a risk that you take right now with renbridge.io, I believe. I don't know if it's immutable or a contract that they can't fake, but Richard does say sometimes if you wrap your coins on one contract, let's take for instance wrap BTC, right? So you got wrapped BTC on the Ethereum network, and then you got regular BTC on the BTC network. If you wrap a bunch of BTC, my understanding is they can decide whether or not to give you that BTC on the other side, but I'm not sure if that's up to them or not.
I mean, it's up to their servers and the smart contracts. Like Ren, I know, for example, is a bunch of federated servers. So, kinda. Sorry for the background noise. It's dinner time for the dogs.
No, that's fine. And then Ancient Earthway says yet another layer of selling yourself your own NFTs, perhaps, which, like I said, as soon as NFTs came on the block, I was furious, and then I was excited because I was like, oh, it's money laundering for the masses. You know, if you want to stomach the Ethereum fees, you can set up 100, MetaMask wallet addresses, and you can wash your money from one place to another. And, it would actually be possibly up to, the government to prove that you are selling NFTs to yourself, which is a great idea as well. So yeah, you could add the NFT selling to that layer of obfuscation or hiding. And then Charles here says parade of the imaginable horribles.
I get those in my DMs all the time.
A lot of this is kind of doom and worst case scenario, but the honesty, if you really want to take a look at something that with less bias, you do the SWOT analysis, right? That we saw. Who was it that did that? David? No, it was Adam Stokes. Adam Stokes did the SWOT analysis of Pulse Chain, right? So you do the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. And if you go watch his video on Pulse, he does a really great job of honestly stepping back and saying, okay, what are the threats to Pulse Chain? What are the opportunities? Where are our strengths and weaknesses? So the imaginable horribles is actually, that's just part of investing, I think.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that one from Adam Stokes.
Yeah, that was good. It was good. Shared a lot. All right. Let's see here. We're right about an hour. All right. Who wants to do trivia?
I love trivia.
So you're offering yourself up?
What do you mean?
I'll do some trivia.
What?
Oh, we'll get both of you. I'll go back and forth. David, first question. What is the NATO phonetic alphabet word for Y? The letter Y.
I know what it is. Maybe I know what it is.
Do you want to steal it?
I don't understand the question.
So there's a phonetic alphabet. Is that the same thing as the NATO alphabet?
Yes.
So there's a way to communicate letters that they use in the military and
so A is alpha.
Aviation. And so each letter corresponds to a word that sounds distinct enough. So, because if I'm on a bad radio and I say DEF, D and E will sound very familiar. But if I were to say Delta Echo, those are the only two words that kind of sound like Delta and Echo. So he's asking you, what's the word for Y in that phonetic alphabet?
Oh, isn't it Yankee?
Yankee.
Boom.
Bingo.
Cool.
All right.
See, he didn't even know what we were talking about, and he figured it out.
Once you explained it, what you're like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, now I understand.
I gotcha.
All right, Rieger won. All right, you're up next. Let's see what we got. What converse salesman is the only person in both the Basketball Hall of Fame and the Sporting Goods Hall of Fame?
I didn't know there was a Sporting Goods Hall of Fame till this very moment.
Neither did I.
Well, the hint here is actually converse, and you probably think you don't know the answer. You probably do.
Converse.
It's the sales. What converse salesman? It's the person is the only person in both the Basketball Hall of Fame and the Sporting Goods Hall of Fame.
Okay, I'm trying to think of like a famous basketball player that reps Converse, and I'm gonna go.
You want a hint?
I'm gonna go with LeBron James.
No,
Does he rep Converse?
Think about the name of a shoe.
Okay.
In the Converse lineup.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the Converse
lineup. You guys
lineup.
know. All right, you ready? You want to steal it, David? Are you good?
Go for it.
I do not know.
Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense because I have heard of Chuck Taylor Converses. So Yeah.
All right. So Rieger 1, old Daddy Bear 0.
Daddy Bear.
All right. All right. Next. In the beer industry, what does the abbreviation OG stand for? This has something to do with the process of beer making.
OG. I think I don't know what the O stands for. Isn't the G gravity? Isn't like original gravity?
Are you asking or telling?
Well, I'll go with it. I'll lock it in. Original gravity.
Original gravity is correct. Rieger is now 2. Big old Bear is 0. You ready to do some work, man? I can't hear you because your mic's muted.
I could scroll down here because chat was right on Chuck Taylor and Yankee, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna scroll down when you ask this. So let's go.
Don't scroll down, you friggin' cheating bear. Here we go. All right. Which birth sign spans the months of January and February?
January and February. I'm gonna say Sagittarius.
January and February, Sagittarius. Survey says Aquarius. All right, here we go. Rieger, you low down dirty son of a gun. What do you get when you mix scotch, sweet vermouth, and angostura bitters?
Oh, whiskey sour.
Whiskey sour, is that your final answer?
Yeah. Might be an old fashioned.
It's actually a Rob Roy, and I've never heard of that. Have you?
No, I've never heard of that.
Never heard of Rob Roy. No. All right, here we go. You can take it back, Bear. We got it.
Okay,
What
let's
is
do this.
the official residence of the president of France?
The official residence of the president of France. Okay, so that would be. I think the dude's name is Falcone, or maybe that's just a mobster from the 20s. But I think that's his name. And shoot, I know Buckingham Palace is England, French. Where's the French homie hang out?
Nobody cares about them, so we don't really know.
I'm gonna say I know. I don't even care that much about England. So
this one's
is
tough. I'm gonna it's do you know, David?
I don't, but I would guess the Palace of Versailles. But I don't think that's correct.
The Palace of Elise.
Okay.
okay. Elise, yeah, of course.
Elise.
I was gonna say in the crepe house, you know, like some restaurant that dishes out crepes.
We just pull crepes out.
Rough question. Thank you, Escatar. I appreciate the solidarity.
It was the blue cheese palace, man. That's what we were doing.
It was Frog Central. It was Senior Frogs.
Where on your pants can you often find the initials YKK?
That would be. Is this to me or to?
This is actually to Rieger.
Do I get my backup?
It's Rieger.
It's on the zipper.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's a factory in China. They make them in China in a factory. It's YKK. They've been there for 100 years or whatever.
All right, here we go, Bear. I got you. I want you to succeed here. What does a linguist study?
A linguist, not tongues, but language. A linguist studies languages.
Actually, you're wrong. It's Italian food. Sorry.
That is not true. That's not it at all.
Yes. Bear is making a comeback.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. What was the name of the world's first nuclear submarine?
It wasn't the USS Connecticut.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, that's all I got.
Now, I'm going to give you the chance to steal this, Bear.
Okay.
Do you want the chance to steal this, Bear?
I would love the chance to steal this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, ask the question one more time.
I feel like you're cheating somehow. Is your wife in the room? Is she looking
No,
at
I
you
was
right
checking
now?
to see if
Don't
Twitter had
play me
given
like
us
a
any more
fiddle.
tech questions.
Dirty
I was checking
son of-
Twitter, not the chat.
What was the name of the world's first nuclear submarine?
That was obviously Red October.
No, it was the USS the Hunt for. Right. It was it's the Nautilus. USS
The Nautilus.
Or not the USS Nautilus. I don't know who made it, but it was probably the US. I don't know. All right. Okay. You ready, Bear?
Ready.
The Mario villain Wario made his first appearance in which Nintendo game?
Oh, that's tough because I'm so old that I played on the original NES, and then the Super Nintendo. He wasn't on the Super Nintendo, I don't think. So I'm gonna go with the N64 is probably where Wario showed up at.
N64. Rieger, would you like to steal it, or you good with that?
Oh, now I know what it is.
Oh, because they told you in chat?
No, because if that was wrong, then it's obviously the next one up.
Now, are we talking the console or which game?
Which Nintendo game?
So the actual game he was in. I don't know.
All right. It was Super Mario World 2. Which Super Mario Land 2. That was on Nintendo, I think.
That was on the NES.
Yeah. Oh, it was?
I don't remember him there at all.
No,
I just remember Bowser.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, Ancient Earthquake's got my. He says, "I need Army questions, not these silly Navy ones."
Navy beat Army yesterday. What 17-13? Army Navy game. Go Navy. All right, here we go. All right. Let's see here. All right, Rieger. What's the name given to sweet chestnuts preserved in syrup?
What?
Now I'll give you a point if you sing with passion, chestnuts roasting on the open fire. No, you don't want the point.
I'm going to pass on both. I don't know the answer to that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
What
what
a
that's called.
square, man.
Sorry, dude.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. This was I don't even know. Maron, Marron, and then Glace with an accent.
Marron Place.
Yeah.
Marron Glace. Marron Glace.
Glash.
Yeah, where the heck are you getting these questions?
Don't freaking worry about it. I don't want to degrade the integrity of this game, Bear. Okay, next. Is it you? Is it you, Bear?
It's my turn to fail again. Yes.
No, you know what? You're gaining. What
I
is
think
the
I've got
only
1
alcoholic drink one can buy in the dry Moore County of Tennessee?
What's the one alcoholic drink?
Yeah, that you can buy in this Moore County it's a dry county.
Okay,
it's in Tennessee.
Tennessee's famous for whiskey, I believe. But if it's a dry county, then and you can buy alcohol, would it really be like, I'm guessing it'd be Windex at this point, because if it's a dry county, like you're gonna be drinking like rubbing alcohol or something like that. I'm gonna guess Tennessee.
Think about famous whiskeys from the South.
I'm gonna go with Johnny Walker.
What in the real hell?
Can I jump in?
Please take it to the bank.
It's Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, man.
Jack Daniels, baby. Jack Daniels, baby. Come on.
So it's a dry county, but you can buy Jack Daniels.
Hell yeah, because they make it there. Yeah.
All right. Jesus, dude, I can't do this anymore.
I like Jack Daniels.
Okay.
There's no way we would make it on Cabana Crypto with these.
It's hard. I've won Cabana a couple times. It's tough, man.
Oh man.
This one is super easy, guys. All right, who's up? Which one of y'all's up?
Well, I was up, but he
Go ahead.
stole, so it's back to
It's back to
DFed.
him.
Back to
What
DFed.
was Bill Gates' nickname while growing up?
Well, I don't know.
David, you guys
William?
are drinking buddies. Freaking get with it, dude.
No. I don't hang out with Bill Gates. No. I'm gonna say William.
William, would you
Yeah.
like to steal?
My guess would be Gator Baby.
Gator baby.
That's all I would. That's what I would tease him with. If his name was Bill Gates, I'd call him Gator Baby.
You guys were really close. It was Trey.
Tray,
Trey.
like lunch tray.
Like no,
Like people
not
just kept knocking
Trey,
over his
Trey.
lunch tray.
No, Trey.
Finn Bear's got a good one in the comments.
Okay.
We'll skip
This
it and
one
put
is
this one up.
this is semi-political, semi-pop culture. Interesting trivia here. Who was sued in 1999 by Rosa Parks after they used her name to title a hit song?
I've got a guess. My guess is
TLC.
Don't go chasing Rosa Parks. Please stick to the. Got Rieger. Got him.
I'm now. Was it sued by Rosa Parks or her estate? Like, was she still alive?
I don't know. I assume it was either or. Somebody was pissed. They used her name.
In the title of a song or just in a song?
It's the title. I know that because I disc jockey. I'm familiar with this one.
Someone that gets sued a lot is Kanye West. My guess would be Kanye West.
It's Outcast. Rosa Parks. And if you
Oh,
listen to the
man.
song, you know it. It's an icon. of
Okay.
that time period. All right. What fashion brand was co-founded by artist? No, that's stupid. You knew you wouldn't know that. What the anniversary of the death of what magician is recognized as National Magic Day in the United States?
Harry Houdini.
Well done. Well,
Man.
damn done. All right, next. All right. What are the two highest valued letters in Scrabble? Bear, what you got, man?
The two highest valued letters in Scrabble. I'm gonna guess Z.
Okay, Z. All right.
Z's hard to use, and X is kind of hard to use, but I that's probably too easy. What's another one that's really hard to use? Q and X.
Q and X, is that your final answer?
No, because I just thought of a lot of words that start with that you could use Q in, so I'm gonna go back with X.
Don't be in the middle of that IQ curve, dude. Just go.
I'm gonna go with Z and X.
Z and X. Final answer.
Mhm. Final
It
answer.
was Z and Q, dumbass.
This is why I love that you when you stake hex you don't get to go back and second guess yourself. You had it right the first time,
Right.
and it just slips through your fingers.
At some point in time, I learned that lesson recently. I just go with the first one. I think I have a higher percentage typically. All right. In what sport would a contestant perform a Fosbury Flop?
Diving.
And Hexray, I think I lost your audio, maybe.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Diving. And is that your final answer?
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Yeah.
Do you want to steal it, Bear?
I'm gonna say that sounds like it's like cards, like maybe poker.
It does, like a Fosbury Flop, like
Yeah.
That's interesting. And you guys, like again, you guys are really close. It was actually the high jump. You guys are so close.
I don't.
That's probably a really brutal thing that happens in the high jump. You got Fosbury, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, we need
good.
a video of a Fosbury Flop to demonstrate for everyone.
All right, you guys ready? Who's up next? Rieger?
I think that one was mine.
Yeah. Oh. All right, here we go, Bear. Who appears on the cover of the Pokemon Yellow video game?
Oh boy. The only Pokemon that I can think of off the top of my head is Pikachu.
Pikachu, your final answer?
Well, the only other one I know is just a really valuable card, but I don't know if he'd be on the cover. So
Who is
I'm
it?
gonna go. Charizard's the only one I've heard of
Are you
besides
sure?
Pikachu.
So you want to go with Pikachu, not Charizard?
Well, not when you ask like that.
Which
I'm
one's
gonna go with Charizard.
Charizard.
Oh my
I
God.
tried to
Can I
teach you
steal
something.
this one?
Dude, I tried to no, I'm trying to teach him because we just went through this lesson. All right. I'm trying to condition you here, Bear.
It's yellow. Come on.
Just go with your first instincts. Is what
Yes.
you were teaching me, right?
It's Chikapoo. I choose you. You know what it is, dude. Get some goddamn Chikapoo.
Well, and you did say
Pikachu.
the yellow one, and Pikachu's pretty yellow, right? So
Yeah.
He's very yellow.
All right. We're gonna get back to that. You'll be okay.
And I know bonus points. I know green, blue, and red. Man, I can name the Pokemon in all three of those cases. Like I had that when I was a kid on Game Boy OG.
Oh
Man.
gosh, dude. Oh, this is gonna be great. Where's Cot G when you need him? What 1960s invention was originally called the pleasure pit?
whose turn is it?
I think it's my
This is
turn.
defense for sure. The pleasure pit.
Yeah,
The
can I hear it?
pleasure pit. And Cot G's mom is not in the chat, so it's okay.
I don't know,
And
man.
it was like an icon. I mean, you guys want a hint?
Please, yeah.
It had to do with water.
I saw the answer in the chat, so I'm disqualified.
Okay.
Like
Well,
an
thank you for being
inflatable
honest.
It's an inflatable swimming pool.
Oh, woo! Inflatable swimming pool? Right concept, kind of. It's a waterbed.
Oh,
Waterbed. They called it a pleasure pit before they called it a waterbed,
I haven't. Well, it was
or is that a brand?
probably a brand or something.
Yeah, Finbear's been nailing all of these, and Chad says I'm on the left side of the bell curve.
Dude, all right. You're a mouth breather, but even mouth breathers make more money than the middle.
They do. It's better to be on one side
Sure.
of the curve than in the middle.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it every day.
All right.
Did you
what is
take
a-
5,
what
5,
is-
5, 5? Because I did too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
See, you're good.
Yep.
What is a cartographer do?
Is this my turn?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Bear.
is it. This is an easy one. This was on Arrested Development because Buster went to cartography school and he couldn't for the life of him read a map. So a cartographer is a map maker.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
God dang, dude. See, it only took 3 questions and now you're on board. Well done. Chat, give him a hand.
No, I got 1 point earlier.
No, you missed the point, dude. You went with your gut.
Okay, got it.
All right. Gosh, man. I can't teach this guy anything. In which decade was the Rubik's Cube invented?
Is that 1970s?
1970s final answer.
Yeah.
1970s is correct. David Rieger. More IQ in the left side of his beard than everybody in chat. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. What model was married to musician Tommy Lee?
It's my turn.
It is your turn.
That's Pamela Lee.
Whoa, hold on. That was weird. Yeah.
What was her maiden name for bonus point there?
Pamela Anderson. What was the thing? What was the question?
You got it.
Oh, I got it. I don't even now. I don't even know what her. Wait, what did I say? Pam Ann. Guys, well done. I mean, there was some teachable moments in there. We got through it together, and I'm proud of
Yeah,
both
That
of
was
you.
fun.
A lot of people know about Pamela Anderson.
It's disgusting. A bunch of chauvinists in our chat. A bunch of heteros.
I'm just a big fan of lifeguards. That's the only reason I know that.
Dude, what was it? The Sandlot, the movie The Sandlot? When he fake drowned so he could so the lifeguard would come like
Yeah,
resuscitate him.
that was a good scene.
Classic.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Don't get any ideas, Rieger. I see you smiling, your jolly little ginger smile. Gosh. You gotta put this guy in check.
Hey man, I have 3 kids already. I'm all set.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
set.
retired now.
We need a score, like a scoreboard somewhere on the screen here.
We could
We'll
facilitate
figure that out for
that.
next time. We'll get a score.
Yeah.
Little like counter.
Ding.
Yeah.
Ding.
Maybe get some buzzers, digital buzzers. You have to click a button and like buzz in. We'll battle for the questions.
There's got to be a way to do
spice
this.
it up.
Charles
Gotta be.
Owens knows what he likes.
Charles, disgusting. Just disgusting.
Meredith Saint thinks she's gross.
You only get hepatitis once. You'll be fine.
Syphilis is better. At least you die really happy. Guys, I've got to go. I got to do stuff. I got content to make, and you're just holding all this stuff up.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on
Rieger's
Tech
great.
Talk.
Tech Talk on Sundays. Rieger made some content. I'm going to share Rieger's YouTube video again.
Yeah,
So you guys
check out Dave's tutorial, and feel free to shoot questions to us throughout the next week. If you guys, well, let's see. No, I'll be out of town next Sunday, so
That's okay.
we're
That's
gonna
right.
skip this Sunday and hopefully show up the following Sunday with more tech talk with David Feeder and RagstoRiches, and maybe we'll invite some more Hexkins on stream to fire questions. I can't express enough gratitude for taking the time to come out here, David. You are a great part of this community.
Thanks
So
for having
thank you very much.
It's my pleasure to be
Rags,
here.
I'm glad you can wrangle chat. You know,
I'm just here.
If you guys want to see a true chess champion in action, check out Rags live streams where he does 1 minute chess,
which is pretty
Right.
fun. And I've got I think I'm 20-5 over 3 streams. So we're doing pretty well.
Pretty good
If you're
record,
interested in coming to get that ass beat, just let me know. We'll play.
Yeah. So thanks again. You can also reach these guys on Twitter at RagstoRiches. Is it at RagstoRiches Squad or Fam?
Fam, the number 2, Rags, the number 2 Riches fam. Yep.
Okay, yeah, because otherwise you'll find a lot of strange rap videos and rappers if you just look for RagstoRiches.
This is
He
correct.
needs some SEO help. If you guys know SEO, hook up RagstoRiches, because you will not find him on YouTube unless you
I'm
look up
taking over that
RagstoRiches
keyword.
crypto.
Taking over the keyword slowly but surely.
Right. And David Feeder, there's apparently no other David Feeders on planet Earth, because if you type in his name, he's the first one to pop
That's
up.
not true. There's a davidfeeder.com. He's a musician and he's owned that domain for like a decade. I'm waiting for it to expire, man. So no, there's
Can you see when they expire?
100%. Yeah. Totally.
Oh,
So
look
I
at
just
you.
gotta-
I'm going to email
Oh,
him
I'm
right
waiting.
now and tell him
waiting.
that I'm going to sabotage you.
Yeah.
All right.
I got the
And then-
.eth, but he got the .com. So
That's good. That tomorrow night I'm going to be doing my live Zoom call for beginners and answering questions about staking and getting started and getting your stuff set up in Hex and Pulse Chain, or answering any questions about Pulse Chain up to this point. So jump on. I think I still have the form in my description there if you want to join us live for that workshop that I do on Mondays. And that's about it. So thanks again, guys.
Outstanding. We've got that's cool. Just to let everybody know, the weekly candle for Hex renews here in about 37 minutes. Keep an eye out. Let's see what it does. A lot of times big moves are made on the weeklies. Interesting.
Yeah, and Hex Tangent, it looks like he's going to be streaming after us. So go follow Hex Tangent. He'll be playing on the charts and doing things with his cool Australian accent that we haven't figured out yet. I think next stream we should all do accents, just the whole stream.
The key to the Australian accent is just to forcefully jam your tongue into the back of your mouth and speak. That's all you got to do. And then if you don't believe me when we get off the stream, just try it by yourself, not in front of your wife.
Awesome. Hey, and don't limit before we go, RagstoRiches, you're still doing your holiday Christmas drive, right?
Yeah, so we've kind of entered the phase where I collected a lot of money, and I collected enough money to where it makes me feel uncomfortable, which is a really good testament to the Hex community and Pulse community. So I think we were just shy about $6,000. If the market takes a tank and fluctuates down, I'm going to cover whatever amount that was sacrificed. It was about 6,000, just under. So I'm going to make sure that this individual gets that amount of money, and we are now in the phase. We've got the video half made. We're going to be going out to this guy's house next Saturday, or this Saturday, I guess. And we're going to film the rest of it. And it's going to be really, really cool. The video is neat already. And this is going to be something cool that everybody can share with everybody they know. And they say, hey, I'm a part of this community, and this is what we do. And you can share it with folks. And it's going to be a really good story for Christmas. And I'm very, very excited about it. And it's all because of you guys. Even though I abuse you in my streams, I abuse you in my chats, for some reason, you're just a very loyal bunch of masochists. And I don't understand why. Don't get it.
Awesome. All right, great. Thanks again for joining the stream, guys. And we will catch you guys in 2 Sundays for the next Tech Talk with David Feeder and I guess RagstoRiches too.
I guess so.
I guess so.
All right, guys.
Peace
See
out.